That at turn one is going to be aggressive. Lando knows it's coming though, and he's dealt with Max before, so I am really excited to see how that fight goes into turn one and how it ends coming out of it.
So am I. Cannot wait for this. Thank you, Jensen. We're all set for Las Vegas. It's time for the Star Spangled Banner.
O'er the ramparts we walk, the bombs bursting in the o'er the land of the.
Well, he'll be watching his mirrors, that's for sure. And but Lando wants obviously a clean start. He's been made.
It's race time. Go then, Saturday night in Vegas, and lighting up tonight's 20 Drivers 2025 season. We end in Lando Norris tonight. That will be the end of his championship. 12 metres from pole to the first braking zone. So that's the tyre compounds. The hard is the favoured into what could be a cracking contest. Starting green in his Formula One career. Ahead of these, Gavin for Franco Colapinto, his second Q2 appearance in who's tied the Sauber head-to-head at 11 all. Pierre Gaz starts 7th, his highest start since the summer break. Liam Sainz starts 3rd, where he finished last season in Vegas. Could be a tough task tonight. Good evening.
Good evening. I think we're going to get one tonight.
Yeah, let's get this show started then.
Going into turn one when the lights go out. Except he's got Max Verstappen, got a good fight on our hands.
I think we have. Carlos Sainz, Vegas specialist.
He is a Vegas specialist, and he's a very kind of taking a reset to FP1. So
in that Bellagio Lake and looking splendid tonight.
10 all starting on the medium. That is largely as in that back of the field on the hard tyre. The big one to have a bit of warm up. He's got 2 hard tyre start.
And I'm glad to see in this gambling
hard from there. So let's see what he can do.
Lewis see him start so far back, but on the hard tyre,
hanging back so that he can get a good burnout and keep some heat. Yeah. He is such a good driver, so much experience. He's an intelligent guy, you know, he knows what to do with this tyre. He knows how.
Hamilton, podium possibly for Charles Leclerc.
Kind of a take here, supposedly it's the easiest, as Ted said, the easiest
race distance. You got 310 kilometres, give or take 5. With you, it's an ambitious target. Look at that weaving. Ken.
It is the warmest, but it's still very chilly. And when the sun...
7 Grand Prix in a row, one short of the all-time watching on, and already Mercedes celebrating, joining in the celebrations. Zach Brown on the pit wall.
You know, I think they thought it was going to be a difficult weekend. Temperature for when you come away from the line. It's also
for those that want to follow his progress, and while tyres are dropping in temperature second by second.
Yeah, I'm pulling away from the line.
He is so far back, he's almost. No, Norris getting a good start. It's Max Verstappen coming at him, and it's here from Norris. Then comes George Russell putting ahead of Lando Norris. It's a poor start for the championship.
It was great to see Lando super aggressive.
Lando Norris, but he had to do it. Verstappen was coming on lap 1, watching a bit further. Stars.
He's grabbed 4 places, Ollie Bearman at the start.
As the cars now file, and that's out George Russell pulling away from Lando Lawson, but not quite happening. And is that damage?
A lot of downforce there, so he's going to probably have to pit.
Leclerc back up into 9th place. Verstappen, the marshals sweeping away a bit of debris, and Verstappen leads by a second from right.
Now they'll start to settle down a little bit as rears at the moment. You know, they had that big stop up to temperature, and now he's getting in a rhythm.
Oscar Piastri on that front wing, causing him a huge amount of...
Look at it, yeah, it's going to destroy that front tyre.
Such order, ruining that front tyre, as you say. But an amazing first lap for Lewis Hamilton.
Off tyre, so yeah, great start by Lewis.
And blows down now to 40%, like having 3 or 4 cars on the same track will limp home and will make a pit. That's been cleared away, and whilst that happens, let's to the left.
Oh, that was aggressive, wasn't it?
Piastri banging wheels. The first place is here to George Russell.
Yeah, Gasly also George there into 5, but it's a bit of a risk.
Quite early on there, you see the lock-up into the lead. And look how he's
scored, so it's put him in a bad spot.
Of Lance Stroll, who is out of this race. I think he could do about that, because the Brazilian was steaming. It's out a bit by the lock-up from George Russell.
I think so, when he came for one of the Haas, I think that was Ocon.
And
yeah, rear wing off of the back of Stroll's car.
Control for causing a collision. That, then we'll get your thoughts, Jensen. That is now on where Oscar Piastri picks up a penalty for an...
You know, he's dived him down the inside so protect at some point, because he's going too fast to go around the corner.
Track is clear, we've gone racing, so you can get going a little bit quicker and a little bit faster. Has come into the pits, is back out. That collision in turn 1 has been noted.
Good breaking point into turn 1, and also the circuit fronts and causing a few collisions there.
Yeah, well, first of all, Bortoletto is now retired, so a lot of damage to the back of his car. His rear rain light communication between race control and those in the pit lane could see their colleagues were out.
On that one, Pierre Gasly, by the way, his task has been made an awful lot harder by...
Lewis is pushing really hard, and for him it's a little bit... He's dropped 2 more places back from Lewis Hamilton on that.
He's got rid of the softs under that virtual safety car. Negating Bortoletto for the crash on Stroll. The radio communication, they're going to have to use the pit bull.
There's damage on quite a few cars. Fernando Alonso, if it does flick underneath the car.
And out in ahead past Lando Norris, but George Russell making their way down the Las Vegas Boulevard and picking up a great slipstream behind the Red Leclerc down the inside on Ollie.
In the DRS, and what a lovely move on Ollie.
Verstappen and Russell. Russell's just set. Don't forget last year, this man led 49 out of 50.
Aggressive, you know, at this point of the race, I'm sure Max, but he's not allowed to do that because he has all that pressure.
Now to Ollie Behrman. When will be DRS for George Russell in his battle with rear wing that's been rough.
Yeah, but it's also a difference, but it's going to be a tough one to overtake.
Try and spring a surprise somewhere else maybe, but where that Mercedes is, it's about 3 car lengths working its way towards the end of the lap, and the quite Mercedes still gaining on the Red Bull.
Such a tricky time for George because he's got to pounce. He's got to pounce as quick as he can, and you can see
Lando Norris down in 3rd place, 4th. Carlos Sainz, Isaac Hadjar really coming under pressure from Fernando Alonso and Nico Hülkenberg. Current
cars hitting the ground, sparking, and you've got to get that braking done while you're...
Great, this one. You've got bags of time to tyre degradation. Remember Charles
10 to an 11, where you do the damage when you're really...
Max Verstappen trying to keep George Russell at bay. And
we're going few, even though he's probably very frustrated.
Because of his 16 starts from pole position. He's on
the gearbox of George Russell.
They collided with each other. Bortoletto steaming down the inside. Might not get DRS here. He might just be, and he didn't get DRS. Is this tyre preservation?
Discussions on both Verstappen and Norris. Verstappen was very concerned about how hard he is now as that medium tyre settles down. Tyre is going to fit another hard tyre at the end. He's going to start to close into people's pit window.
What did you say was the best strategy to run in this race?
And a medium. The reason it's been run is because 2 years ago here, where Red Bull will hard tyre stint from there. So Kimi Antonelli
on the podium. So that is the best way to
wear a little bit, but yeah, definitely I think great. Lewis is obviously in a reasonably good position now as well. He just
has been noted by race control for when we see that message, it goes to the stewards, but it could be that he's got a 5-second penalty. Here's a move, Alex Albon right behind Lewis. Second, about a little move down the inside.
Tricky place to pass that. I mean, you've got to follow. Good little fight here, both on the hard tyre.
Finished 6th in the sprint race in Austin. 73 points for him this year. The most is yet to score a point in Vegas for a starting procedure infringement as an investigation. It's not been passed to this little bit from Alex Albon, and we can watch Kimberly a hard strategy having gone, as is Colin Pinto and as is Hülkenberg, makes that move into the chicane and a very...
So no, great job by him. Let's see, it'd be great to see the start and to see how Ollie Behrman got a position for a nice points haul there.
He's very good folding ahead of him, picked up 3 places in 2 corners.
But, you know, I think he's calmed down a bit.
Which is the fastest animal on the planet. Cheater than tortoise, to be honest. And a cheater on steroids, maybe.
Pushing it really hard. Is it the right thing to do?
Now investigating Kimi Antonelli for moving.
Edging Oscar Piastri on. Seconds now, well into just half a second. And he looks like he's about to put a move on it.
A group of 6 slow cars.
Lawson.
Yeah, exactly. So he's just told us that the only issue with doing that is the car in front of you will...
maybe, and tell me what you think of that. He's on the radio at the moment. 12 out of 50. This is where we could...
Right there. And that's that corner that it really...
Picking up a slipstream behind Oscar Piastri. Leclerc wheel to wheel. The Ferrari place into 6th, and look, Dean.
Yeah, well, the thing is, Oscar put himself on the dirty side. He's picked up a bit of dirt.
And while shut to the final corner, this is not going... Who's lost a couple of places at the start. He's running. Charles Leclerc is going to be on his tail.
The roll, you know, in terms of Oscar made one little, those front tyres with the laterally loaded corners here.
Control problems for George Russell, maybe?
Yeah, first of all, that Russell's tyre looks a little bit better, but just like the issue they had in qualifying yesterday.
Light after it's hit the curve, and they looked up. Is the car in front? Isaac Hadjar is shift on here in Vegas tonight.
That was a guy you're overtaking to make that move.
So Hamilton and up into 12th place, and Hamilton then gets him. Now Piastri is going to have to try. Kimi Antonelli now sets the fastest. That's what we. George, they had on the laps to the grid, maybe coming back. See now Lewis Hamilton behind Esteban Ocon.
He hit him as he pulled out, so he's damaged.
Passes Alex Albon. Now ahead of Albon to try and get that cleared away in something very similar to that.
Probably the lap that everyone's going to try and dive in for.
All the mechanics are coming out readying their wheel guns, so actually to the middle of the race, he's had to.
Sadly for him, he has lights out, so he's in 30s.
Yeah, that hurts. That really. It's just got a bit too excited at the start. As
lights at the front, so you've got real.
So as I said before the start of the race, your heart rate is trailing as well.
Right, here comes Oscar Piastri. Prix is still there. That makes overtaking very. I'm surprised that.
So I don't know what they're going to do. What they're going to do? Just wait an overtaking opportunity. One of the biggest overtaking.
That collision's been noted. An Albon, a round track, so plenty of time for the marshal. As best you can. There's another little bit there if you're now making his way through turn 13.
From the race control, because all of the VSC before anyone gets back, racing continues, because I think otherwise everyone on the media.
Antonelli's perspective.
Yeah, good start.
And
Slow mowing it, you won't see it, as we've got some action.
underneath the McLaren, Hadjar trying to pick up a slipstream, and back to you.
What he did though, Croft, he just allowed the without being able to see it on the Sky Pad. We'll look at it.
Did he move? Really?
Pace though. He seems really confident. He is.
Yeah, fingers crossed on that one. It ended. So rather.
I guess they knew that before he came in. He just there and probably not expecting him to pit.
And he's losing pace too to Lando Norris.
In qualifying in Q3, and in that moment you have no confidence. See.
He does that. Nico Hulkenberg moves past Ollie. Mediums start to drop off a little bit. So, but where does he come back out into the race? And he is. Ollie Behrman now pits for him to feed back into the race.
Yeah, perfect position. It's going to be going along.
Yeah, you don't 3, maybe 4 laps. The hard tyre does have it long. So Russell pitting, Lando.
Yeah, no, I have clean air. It's just
that McLaren to pick up the pace, and that's what
The race, just a little bit off Max in the middle section.
longer than your opponent in front of you. Going onto the hard tyres, they take a bit to warm up, or of an outlap.
Yeah, you're correct. Old hards, you can try and have attack them. Came in for a new set of hards.
And that'll give Lewis Hamilton all the encouragement. 5 now, as the stewards are looking at Alex Albon. That's under investigation, and the starting penalty, and then both come at once.
It's one of those races.
chop start.
I'll have heard and his analysis from down onto as well, and all the timing loose.
Seconds, it could be a lot worse, couldn't it? I mean, I've seen much past Ocon, isn't he?
He is. Ocon's actually right. And no room. Ocon been outscored 32, 4th from 16th here for Alpine. Loves this place.
He's really struggling though on those tires. I think it's going to happen. This move is going to
Stick by him and behind him for a few more corners. A collision on Lewis Hamilton of this, that, the other. It's exactly the same penalty that Fernando Alonso got.
But he knows he's done wrong. He just misjudged it. Happened over the last couple of laps, taking it down. So
Isaac Hadjar, I think, is going to be pitting at the end. A lot sooner than his rivals by setting his best lap of the race. Albon for the starting procedure infringement, as Isaac Hadjar does come into the pit to this race. Finally made that move.
I think Esteban Russell, his last lap was a 35.7. But still,
I think it's one of the 2 or 3 laps get to the right temperature.
And they don't like heat spikes. But I'm really struggling with it graining.
They're 18 degrees track temperature. Leclerc.
Exactly, Crofty, and to pick up on that, as the track temperature is, if anything, and Piastri called
to increase a bit as well. Get ridiculous for him. Through goes Antonelli. And the thing is, he is behind Kimi Antonelli. The move on Colapinto, and once again,
A little bit oversteer in the entry for Lewis, but into turn 11, he's to try and keep this position for Carl.
Trying to make a move on Colapinto into the middle of that pack. Opposite the chicane. Ted, down to you.
Yes, on the front, but McLaren have fixed a second or 2, but Lando obviously...
What's on there, Ted Kravitz? So George Russell, second place. Sainz makes his pit stop. On the first corner he goes, a pit stop, but your tyres are now a bit warmer than obviously when you're together on the track. The late
Know your stuff, don't you? but he's had to push super hard on those tyres.
Yeah, he was a lovely gentleman and explained that to me. It didn't matter to him there, though, did it?
What a miss flying, isn't he?
He's loving it. In terms of competitive pace for Aston Martin's summer break, Esteban Ocon now has very, very much in the game here, and that Piastri is going to be, I never know on that one. Leclerc is as a one-stopper for Ferrari. You need to bear the raining or not.
Yeah, but so far it doesn't. Since everyone else is pitted behind him,
Isn't he on that one? Is that 3?
Right, you got to tell me 2-6. Happy for everyone. We want to go forward.
Explain that one for us, Bernie Collins.
These guys, I'm trying to undercut. What is my bet? He has fresher tyres than Russell. He is not focused, I think, so much on Leclerc, who's going quicker. 2 laps ago it was pit window. Now the pit window, as we know, 21 seconds.
So Charles Leclerc has got Piastri is ahead and has gone through.
yeah, there could he, Carlos. He got so close, but
And he should now be a pit stop just under a second ahead of George Russell. 17 laps ago?
I think George is his best first sector as well. So
Than Red Bull wanted. We're watching Carlos Sainz stop and still then ahead of George Rend against George Russell here and trying seconds at the distance between them. We're on
front fighting right now, but so I don't think to take it to the Ferrari right now.
So, race Verstappen, don't forget, in 20 time in 3 years, but he's got latest that as we now go into the second half of the...
Such a lovely position now. He's come out in fresh tyres and he's got a clear road.
Who hasn't pitted so far? Hulkenberg is 3 away. Charles Leclerc would be up into 6 so far. Antonelli will have a 5-second penalty. And Alex Albon having served his penalty race before Oscar Piastri. Piastri, its damage limitation in Zandvoort has just unraveled.
Yeah, and also when you're putting yourself on the did, and he got pushed out. So it's not easily, but it's still going to cost him time.
Is it another lull? It just struggles in these sort of...
Sometimes it does hurt you. You know, I think you can see that out there. They're just able to get more out of it. They're able...
All about smooth and precise driving. And joining us now, so not the best up to Zach. Oscar struggling a little bit down.
I think Lando's got... We'll have to see what long runs look like on the hard. So, let's see. But it's difficult.
Obviously very aggressive by Lando. It was lovely to see.
Yeah, exactly. He was, Max got did a little bit, but good to see it was.
Leclerc and Sainz. Just watching Kimi hard. Can he go to the end of the race on this tyre comp?
On this tire, but you know, we can do that many more laps on that set of tires.
Using your AI into this race, not sure if that... Yeah, the AI technology, a lot of different simulations they come up with.
But you still need... If Antonelli is thinking about going to the end of the race every lap.
I asked that question to Zach, because Bird can.
Well, I'm looking at the lap times. There's no drop. They've got to factor in pit stop and the new tyre. Don't think it's totally... So just have it on your radar as a possibility. But one to watch out. He's obviously got the fight against it at this stage.
And when Bernie Hulkenberg, as Lando Norris, George Russell, Zach was saying, as Hamilton now...
And Lewis Hamilton had been on the radio saying that Lewis Hamilton can do to get... You'd hang it out until around lap 33, and that's why you're not seeing the likes of Hulkenberg or Midge. That's why you're not seeing them in yet.
At the Ferrari garage, we're not quite... We can celebrate whoever wins. Last year was 33 laps, 71 laps in Sao Paulo on the medium.
All big lock up there around here than Interlagos. Interlagos is exciting. I love that they're possibly thinking about it.
But the thing for Kimi Antonelli, he's now got Hulkenberg on this hard tyre. Now is a chance to see.
But teammates in 2007 when they get scrapped 10th, 11th and 12th with Ollie Gull, the aerodynamicist originally intended.
Yeah. Wow. I'm following Fernando Alonso.
Ollie Behrman, there's a 3-way scrap going on here with 9...
Pushing Fernando around so that he had that little lock up 14.
Nico Hulkenberg is a medium tyre. Don't forget Hamilton on that hard tyre. It's whether Kimi Antonelli can make hold. As here goes Ollie Behrman on to 11th.
Yeah, that was a nice move. No, he's made some good moves this race. Relatively early stopper, wasn't he? Which hasn't 11th, and everyone apart from Antonelli
amongst the top 3. We're riding on board with it near enough than George Russell, and that is 4 laps. Watching Esteban, he's separated by 5 seconds a lap, but he's got George Russell right. It looks very nice indeed. So difference between himself and Oscar Piastri.
Yeah, lovely position to be in. Is the tyres a bit, or is the 8
tyres for 10 laps? George Russell has run them.
What I can say then, Norris, quick.
So is he my rate? Too fast.